the case makes a ton of sense to worry about, but in general, like especially on a lot of listings, you're not going to have to compete with people that are that high reviews. So you'll get some good anecdotal data pretty quick, and you'll see it in many cases it's possible.
Yeah. What up, Joji? The book king.
Joji posted a new video today. It was on my recommended. Best way to find OA products that not everyone else has already found. Yes. So do not focus on big sales happening on certain websites if the goal is to find stuff other people aren't finding, right? Understand that basically every website has some sort of discount or multiple discounts that you can get, right? And now you're going to have to work hard to find that. But the nice thing is when you do find it, you can catalog it and keep track of it and be able to use it again and again. Right there. So that's what I would say is like either find the sales right when they're happening or focus purely on coupons and get really down and dirty understanding rewards programs, discounted gift cards, and talking to other sellers because that's going to help you find other opportunities too.
And I think the important thing to note with a lot of those like big sales like Nike, Dick's, Kohl's, and stuff like that, it's not necessarily you skip over them, but you have to account for them early. Right. So maybe your standard 13, 15% margin is 30, right? When you're buying off like a site-wide sale, right? Similar to how we sort of like bake in that risk mitigation with shoes. You want to sort of do the same thing with these big sales because you account for the market coming down a bit to reality. You account for all the added supply during the market, which is ultimately going to drive down the buy box. So it's not as to say skip over Nike sales, but you definitely want to account for them in your calculations because on those sales, a 13% margin is going to turn into a 2% margin super quick.
Yeah. And it's like you either want to be first in or last out on stuff. The nice thing is actually with this business model, so it's like pretty incredibly easy to be first in if you actually want to and like are like really like worrying about it. And that like you can hop in, like you can list FBM stuff before it touches down if you're experienced with that website.
Yeah, you got to be quick. Yeah.
Get scrappy.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and you have that power.
You can just be fast. Like that's like I've been talking to some dudes who are like even Justin in chat. We were talking the other day. Like he's sales tax exempt, and so I was like, bro, just run up FBM for during back to school. You'll beat everybody else. Like that's it.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge advantage.
People aren't even trying. Like your competition like is not trying. Like you can and the problem is when you're new, they've been doing it longer than you, so they have it easier. The nice thing is that changes over time, and everything.
I'm a seller from Pakistan. Can I find profitable online arbitrage products? Please explain.
Yeah, if you can, everyone else can. We're in the right place. That is a great.
What's up, guys? Have any recommendations for FBM templates? Want to get? I think Miles, you have a good one, right?
Yeah. The nice thing is templates. There's not much you can do. I would just recommend doing free shipping, and then like $15 plus $1 a pound, $15 plus $1 a pound for 2-day and expedited. Right there. However, if you can, this is such free game for all of you guys. Please do 0-day handling time if you can.
Yeah, you're gonna increase your
buy box share. And now you're probably not gonna want to live that life forever of having to ship stuff out super quick. But in my opinion, it actually saves you a bunch of time with how much quicker you're going to be able to learn with that process, and how much more fun it's going to be to see sales coming really quick, and how it's going to be able to nicely give you confidence and such.
In terms of like estimating cost, if it's under a pound, it's going to be what, like $3 to $4, $5 across the country.
Sorry?
If it's under a pound, it's going to be what, like $4 or $5 to ship?
First class. I got to figure out the new first class pricing. I'm pretty sure they like stopped naming it first class and just increased everything by like $1, which is fine. Like the market will adjust. Right there.
I'm coming up to my first Q4. I know we are not there yet, but when would you guys start sending that stuff in? So a lot of people start to trip over Q4, especially if you have been selling the past couple of months. Just continue to do what you're doing. Don't really change anything. Just obviously everything's going to sell more, but gain, sort of like what Miles was talking about, gain that anecdotal evidence your first Q4. Don't necessarily change too much. Don't go heavy into a bunch of seasonal stuff. Don't go shifting models. Just double down on what you are doing, what you know, what you're comfortable with. Maybe look for some extra capital, accounting for some more volume. But I wouldn't change too much, especially being your first Q4.
If it's your first Q4, I would never send in stuff for Q4. Ever. Just quick flip. And before you know it, it'll be here. And stuff will be selling quicker. You'll be buying it cheaper. Because the best inventory to buy is Black Friday, period. Right? And then the best time to sell it is very conveniently the week after that, right? So if you're buying stuff now for Q4, there's going to be your competition who's paying less for it during Black Friday. and with way less risk, and their cash flow is way better. So the best thing you can do, in my opinion, is just keep quick flipping stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about stocking up on stuff. Like a lot of people get tripped up on that. Like, oh, I want to buy the Legos and all that kind of stuff. Just keep it moving.
Yeah, what's clutch is that like everyone worries way too much about preparing for Q4 and then works way too little during Q4. Like you got to be in the trenches if you're really about it. Like, and it's like, you're trying to make those first like 10, 20K profit months. Like that's the way to do it with the least risk and the best cash flow cycle. Not even close. I have a bunch of products in FC trends. What is the average time for it to be available? Unfortunately, that's a tough one. Like it really, really depends. The key is honestly just to like send in enough inventory you don't even notice. FC takes a little while and such, but it can be anything from like a week to like several weeks at some time.
Yeah, it can take a couple weeks. They're slowed down with Prime Day. They just got hammered, so stuff's still a little slow.
Right.
Chris, I miss those days, man. When I used to go to the
that's
outlets, buying inventory in the store and selling it before you check out. Those do hit different.
The best was selling the stuff FBM before you even bought it. The Dick's Sporting Goods days. That stuff was it's like how many people would have been incredibly like nervous about that or whatever. Like it's not a big deal. Like 50 years ago they would have been sending us to Vietnam, man. Nothing's risky out here.
Now we can just walk into a store with something.
Yeah, bro. Nothing's risky.
FBI OA profit is hard to build. I mean, hard is relative.
No, it's not. Right? Yeah, go work a job for 50 years. That's hard. Right?
Yeah, like, both is difficult. One is on your own time at least.
Yeah, and one is like you do with your friends. It's like
How do you FBA Nike slides and boxes? Do you rubber band? So all shoes are going to operate the same. You got to like secure the box in some fashion, whether it's a rubber band, whether it's, the one of those see-through poly bags, whatever the case may be, you have to secure the box. And that's really all there is to it. It's going to be more expensive to ship. Keep that in mind with FBA, just because FBA shipping charges are based on volume, not necessarily weight. So, seller estimates, I think it's like 30 or 40 cents per pound. Your shoes are probably going to be closer to $1 or $1.25-ish. So obviously just keep that in mind. It's not going to make a huge difference, but it could in volume. The returns are disgusting. And so like we were talking about with the Nike sale, no one's telling you not to buy shoes. We're just simply suggesting if you are buying shoes, probably makes a lot of sense to double or triple your typical margin, right? If you're operating at a 13, 14, 15% margin, maybe you're looking for 30% shoes to bring them in, expecting a longer turnaround time with the money getting returned, things like that. We're just trying to proactively manage our money and our risk as much as possible, right? That's all we're trying to do when we're talking about the sales, when we're talking about shoes, women's clothing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Warner, that reel you posted with the green screen was dope. I love that format.
I think I'm gonna start doing more of that. That's fun.
Yeah, because it's super engaging too.
Yeah.
Is hazmat any different than dangerous goods? I actually don't know.
I think it's interchangeable. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, good. So we're all and
so SellerAmp has an H error thing and also has a DG. So I don't know.
Maybe not. Yeah.
It's all classified under the same storage type though, so I don't know if there's a difference. Like it could be old phrasing. Like I'll ask them about it why we have different ones. They probably
I don't know. I could also be tripping. I thought there was different, but there may not be. I don't know. What's your percentage profit in OA? I actually really don't do any OA anymore specifically.
It should be like well optimized. Like RA, I'd say if you're like working really hard with RA, you can do above 20%. Does it make sense to do 20%? Absolutely not. Just work a lot less hard to make 15. OA 10 to 15 pre-cash back. And depending on what type of stuff you sell, you can get like 5% cash back average. Everything.
I do. I'm sure you're at least close to living off cash back. Like
exactly. Yeah. Big time. Is it worth filing safety claims for $40 shoes? Yes, absolutely.
UPS deal is free pickups.
I've noticed what Prodigy was talking about. Dangerous Goods has its own batteries. Hazmat's like chemical type stuff. I'll look into it. I think it's mostly the same thing though. Like anybody in this chat, like you probably don't need to worry about the difference there.
What should I do about a product if the data doesn't match or seems off? I mean, there's always going to be glitches like that. For example, I found a product that had 1% of reviews and hadn't really gotten any in a while. So 1% of reviews on something that moves cumulatively 200 times a month is a lot different than something that gets 1% of those reviews and the listing moves 10,000 times, right? So it's not necessarily the percentage of reviews of that listing. It's relatively speaking, how fast is that listing moving, and then quantifiably how much is that specific variation moving.
G-Body spitting on it. Let's go right there. Best street pricer software. So I'd recommend BQL. That's what I use. You can get a free trial if you want to support your boys. At the links in the description, right there. So the nice thing is you can start that and get 2 weeks for free, basically, right there. So it's pretty solid.
Hi there. How important is it to have LLC to start running FBA? Not important. Just start making money.
You can set it up at the start if you got like assets you want to protect, but
yeah, I didn't have shit when I started to protect stuff.
yeah, like I was broke. Like it didn't matter. I was just freaking books on the Amazon account.
I had negative assets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys still mainly reverse sourcing storefronts for products? No. However, a lot of the baseline knowledge we use came from originally reverse sourcing, and that a lot of us can look at a product and have a decent idea, especially categorically, right? I can look at a shoe, I can look at a clothing item, have a pretty good idea of the market on it, right? But that takes time. So manual sourcing works, product finder works, reverse sourcing works. It's just taking the time to get good at it, basically. Okay, damn. This was probably the longest we ever made it in the stream without an ungating question right there. So
that is a record.
Yes. Please buy stuff and then just happily get ungated. All retailers. Yeah, if you need to get ungated, there's a ungating store link in the description. Go do that. It's gonna be nice and easy.
Yeah, submit wherever you're buying from. We just completely ignore it and rip the invoice. Like it
I mean, that's a huge advantage, because when the three of us were coming up, it wasn't now it's like you source, and then ultimately when you find stuff that's profitable, you get ungated when you need to. I think we're all probably, back when we all started, we just blindly ungated a bunch of stuff and then found profit on the back end.
Right.
Let's fucking go, baby. That's awesome right there.
Did you retweet it?
Yes, I retweeted and quote tweeted. You're acting like I'm not for the boys.
That's huge. That thread's gonna bump.
Acting like I'm not for the boys. Yes, bro. Yeah, receipts. So email receipts, download it as a PDF, and then name the file the ASIN invoice. So like copy and paste the ASIN and then put invoice. Like make it really easy for the automated system to say yes. Right there. So you can just, yes. Yeah, coupon savings, you're chilling. Oh, well, don't return. It's kind of bad mojo to return it, but like, I guess you can if you want. Like, I won't tell these retailers. Does UPS still offer free shipping supplies? Yep, you'll see it on their website.
So is USPS does as well.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah, you have to use it USPS though. That's don't catch a misdemeanor shipping USPS boxes. It'd be the worst way to commit a crime. Like the worst.
UPS been on some shit, bro. My boy G complained. My boy G got beef with everyone. Bro has beef with the way. Bro has beef with the outlets. Garrett, did you know that Prodigy is Jake's little brother?
Yeah, he's always in here. Yeah.
Oh, facts. Is it too late to start selling on Amazon?
Do you think we would be here, sitting here trying to help you guys out, going into a dead business?
More money for everyone.
Oh yeah, you're late to the game, bro. I'm sorry.
Who cares if Uline ends their contract? What even is their contract with UPS?
I have no idea.
Yeah. What product did you buy for back to school and regret it after? So it doesn't, like, it would be kind of useless to tell you a product because the data is all that matters, right? And that like a good item could be terrible if your buy cost is too high, right? So like, I don't know. I guess a couple backpacks haven't gone the way I wanted to last year, but it's like the product doesn't really matter. It's all the data on it.
Yeah, and you also have the 80% of your products that go super well, and the 20.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So like, if you make a mistake, it's not a product mistake. It's come on. Right there. Most profitable sourcing method, keep a product finder.
Yeah, especially for wholesale. But if you guys are just starting out, just reverse source. Learn the brands, learn the types of products.
Yeah. And understand, boys and girls, everything you see when you Google a product, almost every website has a way to get stuff cheaper. That's the differentiating factor for OA, period, in terms of making stuff profitable.
And the important thing is, and I tweeted about this a couple of days ago, right? Any product you look at isn't a dead end, right? It'll ultimately lead you to something greater, potentially a storefront that you can learn from, potentially a new brand that you can learn from, potentially a new niche that you can learn from, right? There's so much information baked in that little box of SellerAmp that gives you all those other storefronts, and that could be infinitely valuable than that one specific product, right? So the product you're looking at may not be interesting, But what are the other sellers that are selling it? Where are they buying from? What sorts of brands are they carrying? What sorts of products they're buying? Right? Those are the sort of deductions that once you can make those connections, it brings your business infinitely to the next level.
That's a fact. G-Body never lied right there.
Oh,
So
used to be
helpful with
my
this.
category.
So
Probably
helpful.
like expensive electronics is like probably some of the worst stuff you can sell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd say definitely. That's
High
Shout out
returns. You also got
shout out
people trying to
Wi-Fi
scam
body.
you. Like, yeah.
You got to do the
expensive.
serial. You got to do the
Yeah.
serial membership.
You got to be one of those Amazon sellers that says like we record serial numbers in their
Record
seller
serial
name.
numbers,
Like,
That's how you know you're getting piped.
if it got to the point where they had to put it in their company name that they record serial numbers, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you find
Okay.
websites with items on sale efficiently for OA?
You sign up to their email list
Mhm.
and their text list, and you talk to other sellers, and you use sales gauge. The big thing is you talk to other sellers, honestly, because that's the highest leverage thing by a mile. Luckily, almost none of you guys will do that, and that's why we can have so much easy to find opportunity. But you should do that.
Yeah,
You try-
literally 30 minutes ago, got a text and sale back. Like, it's time to go. Like, that's
Oh,
it.
that's a good question. What should I do if an item tanks a lot? Go back to the drawing board and learn if there were any indicators that suggested it was going to, right? If it tanked or if the price dropped, there was likely an indicator or a nuance or a wrinkle that you missed. That next time you look at a product will allude to that future thing, right? So maybe on the product you bought, the offer count started to rise a little bit. Maybe on the product you bought, it was on sale at Nike, right? Maybe on the product you bought, I guess those are the two big ones, right? But like, there's usually something that happens that's going to allude to that future price. Of course, you're going to run into like a leads list or something, and you get unlucky, and that happens. But the compounding knowledge of this business is going to be a lot more valuable than losing that $200 on that specific product.
Okay, I like this. How do you get more sales? User repricer. If you're doing FBM, move to 0-day handling time, if possible. And then overall, just, buy higher quality inventory, right? And that, like, the nice thing is, like, your biggest lever you can pull is what inventory you buy. What would you suggest in terms of getting started with OA? I would watch Garrett's videos, Warner's videos, my videos. Get a free trial of Seller Amp. Get a keep a subscription. Take the Seller Amp app and scan any barcode you see at the crib, especially those old birthday presents you didn't open because your family doesn't believe in giving you money, so they gave you useless stuff that you never ended up using. Right there, that probably has that shit's facts though. I mean, am I not spitting facts on that, right? You go and you sell that, and then you go to your local Walmart clearance app, scan a bunch of stuff. You go to your Nike outlet, and you start doing some online reverse sourcing as well. By the way, boys and girls, huge news in the arbitrage world. A lot of states have sales tax holidays in the next month. Look up if your state has a sales tax holiday. Florida's is right now, I believe, right there. So you can make a bunch of extra money and buy stuff that you wouldn't normally buy during the sales tax holidays, right there as well.
Yeah, we absolutely ripped that holiday last, I guess 2 years ago when we had a Florida Prep Center. It's like, all right, send it, no sales tax.
Nice. Okay, so I wasn't even sure if it worked online, low key, but I got it. Cool. All right, even better right there. So yeah, get on that. I'm actually gonna make a video for Twitter about that right after this.
Do VAs also do the buying? Aaron, if you've got that many leads and you've got a ton of money, I would look into hiring a buyer. But typically your sourcer is going to be different even than like the manager, and then usually there's also a buyer. That's how we structure it.
Fire.
But that's awesome. If you're running into having too many leads, just spend your money on. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's another thing. Oh yeah, you were saying.
I was gonna say, is that currently how you're structured with like your whole your staff still?
Yeah, I think we're at 6 sourcers, manager, and then they send it to the buyer. And the nice part is the buyer doesn't actually have to know Amazon. They just click checkout. So it's anybody who wants to do it. Like,
your manager is domestic, aren't they?
No.
Oh.
Is it Leon still?
You can't be leaking names, Miles.
No. All right. Thoughts on VA training courses? I think it could be sick. I think that's a very interesting business model too, like the people who sell those. I don't know if you mean for people to buy for their VAs or for VAs or people that want to be VAs. I think it's dope though. I think it's like cool to see the market expanding.
Yep.
No. Make some orders first too. Like don't worry about it yet. Yeah, everyone's saying my VA as well. The VAs be cheating out here sometimes.
If you have a prep zone or sales tax state, make sure you look for categories that are sales tax free all year round.
That's
Florida-
that was the biggest thing. Yeah. Wait, serious? How do you find new products? You scan a ton of stuff. It's hard to find a good product. Of course it is. Otherwise, everyone would do it. Right there. You gotta work hard for it. Like you probably haven't been doing it for 6 months, right? It's like I don't know anyone who's super successful that's been doing it for less than 6 months, right? Also, like, has another Amazon seller ever heard your voice or seen your face? Probably not, right? Meanwhile, we all work together on stuff, even 2 years ago, and that's why it was a lot easier for us to find stuff too, right there.
Warner, who's to one telling the buyer the quantity? That's a good question.
Yeah, it's manager. Yeah. Yeah, I might do a. Let me know if you guys would be interested in this, like a more advanced, structuring a team, all that kind of stuff, like a couple weeks. Let me know if you guys would hop on.
Like a cohort. I think that's a fantastic idea. I think that is a fantastic idea. How did y'all originally meet? Warner popped up on my YouTube recommended, and then Garrett, you followed me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You commented, and I was like, "Oh shit, this dude's like pulling up pallet things to his like little ass crib and doing it right there." Do you see other e-commerce platforms other than Amazon? Not currently. They're all awesome. It's just Amazon's what's been like the best sauce for us three specifically. I think shoes on eBay got to be a movie though. If you can get like VAs to list stuff easy, because I don't think there's returns on there. So that's got to be like, you have a shit ton of reviews. Like that's
well, your sales are lower if you don't allow returns on eBay. But that's what we usually do that on most of our stuff that we're just liquidating, because I'm not trying to get a returned again on eBay. I just deal with the lower sales.
So small and light fees didn't change for stuff under $10, so it's going to be the same thing. Like it already exists the way it is, right there.
Yeah, they change under $10.
Yeah,
no,
it's different.
No, but like I've been getting asked like 16 times a day if seller amp's changing, when like all along you had to toggle it in the first place.
Oh yeah.
Requirement's the same thing. Or like but like if something's under $10, it's still the same.
It'll be almost the same. It won't be quite though.
What is considered healthy competition? Anything that's not shooting up, especially if the price is stable. Right there. FBA Prep Center is a thing. Yes, however, I think it's wildly risky. And I think a lot of the benefit of FBM is like listing stuff crazy quick when it comes in, being a little risky, maybe listing stuff ahead of time before it arrives, that kind of thing. And you're not going to be able to get any of that with the Prep Center.
KV Flips, yeah, he's the GOAT.
I saw bro in person a week ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
30 cents, right? On 10. Is there a point where your account level reserve just goes away? Nah, it doesn't change either. It doesn't like speed up, which a lot of people think. It's always going to be that same kind of holding period.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, because you'll get to the point where you get daily payouts. You probably don't have those yet, but so it'll get better, but you always have 2 weeks.
I think another nice framework to think about OA is like, and I think this is like kind of game changing, honestly, is like the websites that show up when you Google a product in like the first 10, that's where it's coming from if it's OA, right? You just got to know how to discount. Right there, but like most of the time, that's where stuff's coming from. So you just got to know how to discount. Yeah, bad.fb is a beast, right there. No, they're not canceling small and light. They're canceling it between $10 and $12, right there.
Yeah, it'll auto enroll under 10, which is nice, but it'll auto enroll. But the 12 was awesome. Well, I feel bad for the wholesalers who got a warehouse all to build a small and light business.
Whatever. If they could get accounts, they could get accounts. Like
yeah. But some people, that was in people's entire businesses, which
is facts.
Yeah, the 11 to 12 threshold kind of hurts, but
yes.
A lot of listings you can see like it'll be like $9.99, and then like is it 13 or 14 is the difference? I think it's 13.
Yeah, it's like it basically makes no sense to list anything for like 12 to like 13.25 or something like that.
It's so bizarre, like to kind of think about it and everything.
Well, the cool thing about the $12 threshold is that it makes small and light viable with a prep center, right? When you're listing something at $11.99 and the prep center gets 60-80 cents of that, you still have like $1, $1.50, $1.20. You know what I'm saying? Is wholesale drop shipping allowed on Amazon supplier?
Yeah, technically. Yeah.
It would have to be like
It's gonna
brown
be,
box. It can't be from another retailer. Like
There's
if you're
there's
gonna
so
do
much
it,
easier
yeah.
money to be made on
it's gonna be
Amazon.
incredibly operationally complex to have someone else individually fulfilling orders from
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and making sure that they're doing stuff right.
And also not being like, wait, why don't we just do an Amazon account? We are already doing the whole thing.
Yeah, especially if they're individually fulfilling stuff and it's selling FBM.
Right.
It's a very interesting mental framework, I would say.
Most important bookkeeping. I mean, your cost of goods sold is going to be the biggest one, and then just like software, that kind of stuff. And then just make sure you're paying attention to like what you ordered versus actually showed up. Otherwise, you'll lose some money to that. Follow up with the suppliers that short you, that kind of stuff.
Easiest way to ungate products: search Flips for Miles ungating, Fields of Profit ungating. Watch the video, do what it says, and it'll happen pretty quick. Now, boys and girls, they are probably going to decline you a couple times. So please do not get mad in the comments. I'm telling you, they're going to decline you a couple times. Right there. Please. It's going to happen. Unfortunately, it's going to happen. Right, I had to like block this one dude because he was like, he said his comment was, Miles, you fucked me. I was like, dude, like, go watch the other people that are live streaming for free 3 times a week. When should I get a tax exempt account? Whenever you want. Is it hard to get? And not at all.
No. It just depends on the state, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure some of them are a pain.
Yeah, some states are probably a pain, but
yeah. How hard is it to regain the buy box when Amazon has suppressed it? Pretty impossible if no one says anything or for whatever reason they just unsuppress it. The nice thing is you can ask Amazon.
yeah, you typically just look at what the price was last time I had a buy box and see if you can lower it to there and still make profit. Otherwise, they just think it's too high or they want to send traffic to another listing.
Nope. Small and light. Small and light is still around for products sub $10.
Yeah, and it still exists if you had them already enrolled.
Like there's wealth being printed on certain like crayon listings. That's still like
because they were enrolled in. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's still going for another month and a half, but you can't enroll anything.
But,
yeah, there's some OTC stuff that I'm just stuck on for a month and a half until we can get it in the new program. Because I just can't compete with the small and light that is on there now.
So, you guys are gangsters. Appreciate it, family.
Make sure to take pictures of every aspect of the confirmation or ship. Yeah,
if you want to guarantee, that's a good way to do it. Should cash back be counted in profit calculations? Not in my opinion.
Yeah,
I would not. No, it's just bonus money. It doesn't always hit, and it's different for your business too.
Awesome, like extra bread. Yeah. Do you compete with Amazon for the buy box? Now, it depends, right? The nice thing is you can go on Keepa, you can go to data and then buy box statistics and see how much the buy box is being shared, right? That's what's like clutch. You can go ahead and do that.
And that's always going to be relative, right? On some listings that move 10,000 times, Amazon sharing 1% may be enough, based on how much competition is on that listing, right? But on another listing that maybe moves only 200 times, Amazon sharing 20% may not be enough, based on that 20% being split across 50 sellers, right? So it's always going to be that case-by-case basis. It's kind of hard to make these like sweeping generalizations in terms of sourcing because every product is going to be different.
Yep. Okay, good. Final question now we'll hit in terms of today. Do you suggest wholesalers get a warehouse or prep? It depends on your average sale price and how balls to the wall you're trying to get, right? And what state you live in. But I guess you're doing wholesale, so that doesn't really matter either on that. So yeah, I'd say if your goal is maximum profit and you're cool with managing employees, it's going to be way cheaper above like 3,000-4,000 units a month. And you can control your average sale price and go a lot lower. Average sale price wise if you're doing it in-house. However, if you want to travel, if you maybe aren't looking to go as hard business wise, a prep center is going to make way more sense. You're just probably going to have to sell a little bit more expensive products because your expenses are going to be higher because they're going to be variable rather than fixed for the most part.
It is more fun to have the warehouse, more work, but it seems pretty fun.
I've been having trouble on Gate. Do they accept online orders? Yes, definitely. Right there. Cool. All right. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for tapping in tonight. Make sure you follow these guys if you're from Flips for Miles. Everything. Lads got any last words for the people?
Go take action. Go buy something. Seller at Keepa. All you need, go buy something. And then DM me after you've sourced for a few hours and have good questions. DM me on Discord. Happy to help.
All right. Cool. Typically, I'm the motivational speech guy, but bro was saying nothing but facts. So we'll talk to you guys. Great. Right there.